Nobody has to convince the consumer that a Chanel bag is nice. You know by the price tag of $5,000 what the is up. And you either have the money or you don't. The sperm chases the egg. He has no regard for like how you feel. Someone that you have to chase doesn't care about you. Welcome back to the Ladies Always Win podcast. I am your host, Law, Miss Ladies Always Win herself, and I am back with my co-host, DJ Dej.
What's up, guys? It's Dej Monique.
We are back. We are back here with another episode. So before we get into the episode, though, I wanted to talk about. So we have a goal. The podcast,
yes,
of trying to get our first 100 reviews on Apple Podcast. So if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, or if you're listening on Spotify, or if you're watching on YouTube and you have an iPhone, if you could go leave us a review, that would be great. Because when we get our first 100 reviews, we're going to give away a $100 Sephora gift card. So you might as well, even if you don't listen to it on Apple Podcasts, you might as well go leave a little review, 5 stars or whatever you feel like is needed. And maybe you can win a gift card. But we're not going to do it until we get those first 100 reviews. So go leave us a review. It's free. And, you can get you a little... Listen, stuff at Sephora gets expensive. You can have... those memes? And it's like 3 things in the cart. And it's like the total is like $600.
Yeah, that's Sephora.
No, yeah. Sephora is like this weird alternate universe that like... Math does not be math and that's Sephora.
No, it doesn't.
Ever, bro. And you know what's so funny?
Yes, I could use that.
Right? Like, it's so funny because, like, my tactic when I go into Sephora is, like, I don't get a basket. And, like, their workers are adamant about handing you that shit. Like, that's their job. Like, they have one person on staff whose job is just to hand you a basket. And I always tell them, this is my strategy to not buy too much shit. If I can't hold it, I can't buy it.
Exactly. Yo, that's so true.
Once you give me a basket, and the thing is so annoying. They'll offer me like 3-4 times. They're persistent.
Yeah.
And eventually I ended up taking it.
They're like that at Ulta too, a little pushy.
But Ulta, if you start to rack it up,
they just want to touch your face. Like,
they're a little. But like at Ulta, if you start to rack it up, I just walk in the drugstore section. Like, you know what I mean? Like, then it's like, all right, I know over here, it's not going to be crazy. Like, if I walk over there, it's like, careful what you're picking up.
We should definitely do a drugstore haul.
Right? Talking about, like, makeup. Yeah, let us know in the comments if you guys
would be into that. Taught a bitch some things.
Right? Listen. But today, we're going to teach you, look at that smooth-ass transition. Come on. But yeah, today, we're going to be teaching you guys or telling you guys why you should never in your life chase a man. Period. It's us saying it together, okay? This is kind of controversial. There's a lot of females who feel like, but it's okay. It should be equal. I don't believe that. Like, and here's the thing. Like, I think that girls think that if they chase, like, if they don't chase a man and they sit in their feminine energy to be pursued, that it makes them weak. And that's not true at all.
Right.
Like, that's not the case. Like, just because you're letting a man pursue you doesn't, like, take any kind of, like, value away from you. You know what I mean? Plus, another thing, too, there's a difference between pursuing and chasing, right?
Yeah.
Between a man pursuing you and a man chasing you. A man chasing you, which, I mean, this is kind of, like, backwards because we're talking about why you should never pursue a man. But just like for the opposite perspective, a man chasing you is like, he has no regard for like how you feel. It's a very selfish act, meaning he's going to be persistent, but it's about what he wants. So even if you're giving him the vibes of like, I don't really want this, he's not going to respect your boundaries and he's just going to.
He's being too thirsty.
Yeah, too thirsty. He's going to hit you up and it's
I
like.
I hate that.
Yeah, it's
love
like,
bombing
bro.
shit. That love bombing.
Love
I hate
bombing.
that.
Yeah,
calling me babe. Don't call me babe. We just met.
I think that is so weird if you're calling me babe and we're not dating.
Yeah, like that's a turn off.
I don't like that. But versus a guy that's pursuing you, right? A guy that's pursuing you, it's the same kind of effort and intention, but he's going to be reading you. He's actually going to be respecting the things that you want. You know what I mean? So it's like if you're not into it or if you're not whatever, like he's going to be, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, like a man who's like, pursuing you. Let's say you have a thing of like, oh, well, like, I don't like guys coming to my house on, first date. You have to actually take me out. He's going to respect that. A guy who's chasing you is just going to try to get what he wants.
Yes, get his way.
Get his way.
Right, get his way. Too pushy.
Yeah, too pushy. But total side note. But yeah, this episode is about why you should not be chasing a man. So the number one thing I would like to say as to why you should not be doing it is self-worth, right? When you are chasing a man, it really diminishes your self-worth because you're really training your subconscious mind, whether you realize it or not, that you're not worthy of being pursued.
That's right.
It really like messes with your self-worth because it's like if you're chasing someone, right? If you're chasing a man, you're kind of like begging him to see your value and see your worth. And it's like someone that you have to chase doesn't care about you. Like if you're chasing this man, he doesn't like you.
Yeah.
It's
if you have to chase him, he does not like you.
like
it's just setting yourself up.
No, yeah, it's really that kind of dry. Like you shouldn't have to. The thing is, like, you shouldn't have to convince someone to want to be with you. So it's like if I'm chasing you, why am I chasing you? Why am I chasing you and trying to, be with me, talk to me? Stop it right there.
Yeah.
Stop it right there. Because like again,
it's doing too much.
like really think about that. Like, why would you really want to be with somebody who you are sitting here having to convince why they should be with you? Like, it's so funny because it's like think about a nice car, right? Think about a Chanel bag. Nobody has to convince the consumer that a Chanel bag is nice. You know, by the price tag of $5,000, what the fuck is up? And you either have the money or you don't.
Yeah.
You have the money or you don't. Chanel is not sitting here begging people to come. Like a Chanel store can be empty all day, but they're never going to lower their prices. Ever. Because they set the value of what they have, and you either are going to come into their store and buy it or you're not. And the thing is, the reason why their store can be empty all day is because they know when someone does walk in there, they have the money, right? If they all of a sudden start to bring their prices down, they're going to start to bring down their customers who's walking into the store, right? Just by having that $5,000 price tag, you're eliminating a lot of people that can't afford that shit. And that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. But it's like they're letting you know off the bat what is up. And I feel like as females, it's the same thing. And I feel like sometimes because, of society and like, oh, I'm getting older. Oh, I haven't dated someone this long. You'll start to kind of bring your value down as a person and think, well, guys aren't really seeing how good I am. So let me just try to like go convince. No, the right guy will see your value. Because again, if you have to go after this guy, which the other reason as to why you shouldn't be chasing a man is you're going to create a very unsustainable dynamic. Because how a relationship starts is how it is maintained. So the relationship is starting with you pursuing this guy and you're putting in all this effort. Number one, he doesn't like you. So you're about to be in a relationship with a man who does not give a fuck about you. And number two, that's going to be the dynamic. So you're constantly going to have to be motivating him to care, to try to put effort. And it's going to be a very one-sided thing. Like, why would you want that?
Right. Like coming from like me, I'm the type of person that loves hard. And in my past relationships, I was real good for chasing a man. Like, I don't got no pride. So I would chase a man, even when we're together, I'm going above and beyond doing certain things that I can't either afford to do or I'm just doing the most like just for him to like make him happy, you know what I mean? But I realized it wasn't being reciprocated and now I got really hurt from that, And I feel like he just was so used to it. Like when we split up, he was just so used to me being so nice to him and things like that it just was it was bad.
No, because if you chase a man, you're gonna get used.
Yeah.
Period. Point blank.
And I had set the tone for that relationship for that, so I'm the one to blame.
No, yeah, because it's like if you have to think about it, like if I was a guy and there's this girl who's doing all this shit for me and I don't have to do nothing, I'm gonna just let you do it. Like why? Like you're not. Right. It's not causing me. Like I have to put forth no effort or energy, and you're about to just run around and do whatever and do this for me, do that for me.
I had to stop being so damn nice.
Come on.
So damn nice, these men.
No, yeah, it creates a very a not good dynamic because again, like it's like it all kind of goes together with like even like the self-worth thing because it's like you don't want to keep reaffirming that belief to yourself that man, like this is what I deserve. You know what I mean? So it's like if you're chasing someone, like you're really gonna start to convince yourself that like that's what it is. Like, oh well, you know what I mean? Like you just like you don't want to do that.
You have to know it off the bat.
This is me interrupting myself to tell you that I dropped a brand new music video. Bust It Down is out right now. You can check out the link down below, either in the description box if you're watching on YouTube or the show notes if you're listening. It's super dope, super fire. It's giving summer vibes. It's giving fun. It's giving we're going out, we're going to the club. So definitely go check it out. Leave a comment, say that you came from the podcast, and let's get back into the episode. Another reason too why you should never be chasing a man is authenticity. So like when you have to chase someone, a lot of the times you're going to change who you are. Right? It could, because like you really want this person. So if this guy likes a certain kind of thing, you're going to all of a sudden start to change yourself, because think about it. Your objective is just his attention, and you're going to start doing things just to get and keep his attention. That might not be true to you. Like nothing about chasing a man is sustainable. Nothing. Because now you're out here being a totally different person, right? Which now let's say it worked. Let's say you chased this man down and he finally likes you. He's dating you, but you changed yourself so much. Now he likes someone that you're not that person. You know what I mean? So now like you're like in this whole fake dynamic, and it's like if you allow yourself to actually just like be pursued, you're gonna attract people that like the real you.
If like you're you for you.
Yeah, that like you for you. Because if you're chasing someone, you're just gonna end up changing yourself. You know what I mean? Like it's just not gonna be.
You're gonna lose yourself
Chasing a man. And I feel like, again, another controversial topic, but it's like you are the prize, so you have to act like it. If you're the prize, why are you sitting here? And people get it confused. It's not that like you shouldn't be giving off signals that like you like this man, right? Like yeah, you have to put in effort. Like you as the female,
be nice.
Yeah, you need to put in somewhat of effort. You know what I mean? But it's just it's about like more like the initial like kind of first stages, right? You are the prize, so you have to act like that, right? Think about it. The sperm chases the egg. The egg is there, right? The egg is there, and all the egg does is just sit and wait.
That's true.
And guess what? The sperm, I don't know if you guys remember this in health class, those sperms are killing themselves to get to the egg. They're racing for their lives.
Look who's talking too.
They're racing. Right, they're racing to get to the egg. The egg just sits there, and I feel like that is a symbol to how it really is like in life. Like everything about, because like it's not even about like man and women. It's just about energies, right? Feminine energy and masculine energy. Even if you have a same-sex relationship, there's still going to be someone who has a feminine energy and a masculine energy.
Right.
It has
let the masculine be masculine, like.
And let the feminine be feminine. So it's like if you are someone who you are identifying as someone who has feminine energy and you desire to be with someone with masculine energy, right? Then you have to be in that feminine energy.
Sit back, relax, be cute, and just.
Yeah, because that's the other thing too is like.
Let him work for you.
Yeah, like you have to let him work, because like you're going to be setting the tone. So it's like. That really is the biggest thing, because it's like, and I've heard guys say this too. Like I've really heard so many guys talk about this. Like they want to feel like they earned you. Like not to say that women are like objects. That's a terrible way to think about it. But even just in life, like you're going to appreciate something so much more when you know you had to work for it. If you didn't have to do shit to get it, you're going to take it for granted and you're not going to care about it.
Yeah.
So when you're chasing a man,
it makes you easy.
You're immediately diminishing your value.
Yeah, and you know what? Guys sit back and look at it like, how many other guys is she this open to or with? How many other guys is she chasing? You know what I'm saying?
No,
like that's not cool.
Yeah, if you're chasing a man,
it's not cute, ladies.
Not.
And it's just gonna get you played.
It's gonna get you played. We already talked about that. Yeah,
we did.
But yeah, no, chasing a man, it's going to immediately diminish your value, because what's happening is you're letting him know that he didn't have to do any kind of work to get you at all. And it's like you don't want to have that kind of a dynamic from the beginning. You know what I mean? And the other thing too is like
that vibe.
I think if someone like if a guy is like showing you signs, let's say that he's not serious about you or he's, not pursuing you, you need to be able to walk away from that dynamic. And I think that when you are chasing, you're taking out that walking away, I guess, component of it, because it's almost like you're determined of like, I'm going to get this guy, I'm going to get him. But it's like, you should never be involved with anything or anyone that you can't walk away from, because if anything that you can't walk away from controls you. Period.
That's true.
So if you can't leave it alone, if you can't leave it, it controls you. And that could be the same thing with a relationship. So when you're chasing a guy, 9 times out of 10, you're not really going to be in a position to walk away. And you always want to be in a position to walk away. Because again, because I think this is more like if you already chased a man and you're already in that dynamic, the only way to fix it is to walk away. Because what happens is...
Switch it on them.
Switch it up. Coming soon. Got a song about it.
Soon.
Yeah, so it's like if you're already in this dynamic and you're like, oh, like, law, well, like I already chased him and I got him and like he treats me like shit. Now how can I change it? You have to leave. You have to, because what happens is you breeded a dynamic of you do all the work, right? And he has no idea how valuable you are because he never had to do anything to get you. So when you walk away and you leave, you're going to create the space that's going to allow him to get clarity, right? You're going to be able to kind of like realign yourself. And the biggest thing too is that like sometimes when you're really close to something, it can create a certain level of blindness, right? Yeah. I always use this example, meaning if you are too close to something, you don't know what it is. You don't. Ooh, if you're standing at the bottom of the Empire State Building,
don't see the big picture.
Yeah, somewhere. You're not going to see it. Like if I hyper zoomed in, right, to this, if it's super zoomed in, you'd have no idea what it is. But when you zoom out, you'd be like, oh, it's a picture of a stop sign. You know why you can see what it is? Because there's distance. So when you're in a relationship with someone and you're that close every single day and you're treating this person like a king, right? You're treating him so good because he's so close to you and that's what he's used to. He doesn't understand it. And you look at him
like he could do no wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, somebody on the outside looking in is like,
why is this girl bending over backwards?
Yeah. Putting up with that?
So it's like you being so close to this man, it's not allowing him to see who you are. So when you separate and you walk away, it's going to give him that time and that distance, right? Because now he's not getting that treatment. Now he's going to recognize and be like, wow, like this girl was really dope. And one of two things are going to happen when you walk away. They're either going to be like, damn, I just lost something so good. And they're going to really work to get it back, right? Or they're not going to do shit. And if they're not going to do shit, that's not somebody that you want to be with anybody. Like,
absolutely not.
Why would you want to be with someone who is like, it's okay with losing you and literally doesn't want to do anything or put any effort into having you? That's going to answer the question right there. Word. Like literally, like one of those two things are going to happen. And the other thing too, when you walk away, is you're setting up a new standard and you're demanding respect. You're letting this man know, oh shit, she's not the one.
Respect is everything.
Respect is, and again, when you're chasing a man, you're immediately diminishing. Like he's not gonna have any respect for you. Zero. Because again, all he's thinking is, wow, look at what all this girl's doing for me, and I didn't have to do anything. Like I'm telling you, guys, they want to feel like they earned something. They want to feel like it's theirs and that they deserve to have it,
and that nobody else can have it.
So
or grab it.
And that's what they're thinking. So they're thinking, man, if this girl's doing all this stuff for me and I didn't have to do shit, she's probably doing that for the next guy or the next guy or the next guy. And it's like, you don't want to do that. If you have to chase a man, he doesn't like you. So again, you're already just starting off on the wrong foot, right? You're starting off with somebody who doesn't see your value, who doesn't like you, who doesn't care about you. And that's just, what are you doing, right? Yeah. You have to just understand. Like the thing is, back to the Chanel bag, man, you have to know your value and you have to stick with it. Because if you stick with it, you're going to attract the right kind of a person, right? That's what all these,
the right man for you. You're Prince Charming.
And if you're out here just like, oh well, no, it's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work. And again, that's not to say that a woman cannot approach a man. That's not to say that a woman cannot start a dynamic, right? That's where people kind of get like mad of like, oh well, if I bro, yeah, like if I like a guy, I'm gonna tell you. I'm like, if I think a guy is cute or something, I will 100% initiate the conversation. I will make sure I speak to you. I will make sure that I do something to let you know I'm interested in you, right? Yeah. But past that of just showing intent and showing, hey, I like you, from there, I'm not going to do all that, right? Like the biggest thing too, and this is like a really like big tip, I would say, I think, in the whole who should pursue who, right? A female, yes, you should let a man know that you like him, do whatever, make the first move, right? Females can make the first move, but a female should not be from then pursuing the man. So you can make the first move, wave, say cute hello, but what you do is you give him your phone number. Do not get his phone number, because if you give him your phone number, now it is up to him to text you.
Yes.
It's up to him
to operates.
Exactly. He is going to be the one to make that decision. You're putting the ball in his court. You're saying, hey, I like you. I think you're cool. And then from there, they can do it. Because then it's like if you get his number and you start texting him, you're calling him again. You're creating that dynamic. You don't want to create that dynamic. So again, it's totally fine for you to let a guy know that you like him, I think that you should. I don't think that girls should be all like stuck up or whatever. Like, because I think you don't want to confuse a man. Like, let him know that you like him. I think
don't confuse him. But
girls
put your foot down.
Yeah, they'll take it a little bit out of context.
Demand that respect.
Yeah, like I think girls will take it out of context in the sense of like, oh well, if I want to be pursued, then I have to like act like I don't know. Like, show the man interest. If he thinks you don't care, he's gonna stop talking to you. So let him know you like him. But again, that's what I would do. I would give a guy my number and then just leave it there. Because it's like, boom, you could do whatever. And then it's like, because again, I'm letting you know, oh, I don't contact men first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I've literally, like, if a guy's like, oh, take my number. No, you could take my number.
Yeah. It's
simple
funny.
like that.
It's funny because I remember growing up and, like, if you don't like a man, not if you don't like a man, but, you know, my dad used to be like, get their phone number. Being raised by a man, get their phone number. When this whole time I should have been letting the man be a man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was trying to be the masculine one.
Yeah.
I had to chill.
And again, like, and here's the thing, like, I'm telling you, as a woman who pays her own bills, I'm telling you, no man in my life has ever paid my bills. My bills are paid by me, myself, and I do not depend on a man for shit in my life. That, just because I let a guy court me, you know, pursue me, do all that, it doesn't make me any less independent. At all. Like, just, like, at all. I could either go out there and be like, hey, I like you, da-da-da, but it's like, and the thing too, right, and what I think is so backwards with a lot of these girls that feel like, oh, if you're independent, you should, da-da-da. Like, I don't get it, right? Because if I'm already living my life on my own, I'm already paying my own bills, I don't need you at all, right? I have my own life set up. It's kind of like, now you have to show me what is the benefit of you being in my life.
Right.
Like,
why should I take time away from focusing on myself to kind of focus on you? You know what I mean?
Literally. Because it's like you.
Because
like,
everything I'm doing is fine. You know?
Yeah, like, I'm totally fine with that. Like, I heard this quote. I forgot what it was, but it was like something about how, like, any man, like, no man is better than any man. Or something like that.
That is true.
Right? It was basically saying how, like, it's like, dude, like, I'm fine with having, like, no guy in my life. So, like, why should I?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's a whole thing. But yeah, I think honestly, I think most problems that girls have in relationships are because they chase the guy. And that's the dynamic that they're in now. And again, they're stuck. And so it's like, they don't know how to fix it because it's like, again, you have to leave to fix it. But it's like, oh no, like, he doesn't try. Again, if you're thinking to yourself any of those things.
Because you set that tone of desperation.
You set it up from the beginning.
It's so sad that it's like that. But like, if you're a woman chasing a man, it comes off thirsty, and desperate. And they just look, it diminishes your value. They look down on you. You know what I mean?
Like, you can't change
you look
it.
Easy.
Yeah, you can't change it after the fact. So it's like, oh,
I hope no guys are watching this.
I know. It's like, oh, you don't care. Trust me, on YouTube Shorts, they like to eat my ass up. They're watching. But it's like, yeah, if you're thinking like, oh, he doesn't care, oh, he doesn't do this, you know what I mean? Like, really think about how the dynamic is. And that's not all the time. Sometimes guys will do the most for you in the beginning and then they stop. But again, if that was the case, they did all the stuff for you and they stop. When they stop, you have to leave. Because here's the thing. If a guy set up a certain dynamic with you in the beginning and then they stop, they're testing you. Now they're testing you to see, do I have to keep this up or is she going to accept less from me? And if you stick around with him doing less than what he was doing, now he knows, oh, okay, she'll deal with this.
Yeah, you better be ready to deal with that.
Yeah, but it's like if he changes it up and you leave, he knows, oh, man. Which, again, it's either that he couldn't keep up that facade that he had going on, right? Which, again, that he's not who you think he is.
And the thing is, you want to date somebody that's not fronting on you either. Like,
exactly.
If you got it, then you got it.
Yeah.
Don't sit here, and if you don't sit here and try and make me think
that
like,
you do.
Don't flash this crazy lifestyle
that you can't maintain.
And then things start not adding up.
And then, I literally, I tell guys that all the time. Like, because I feel like I will find that, like, a lot of guys, I mean, it's mostly guys that, like, I would never, like, date. But I feel like a lot of times, like, let's say if a guy feels like I'm, like, better than him, right? I'm, like, a higher profile person or whatever. They'll, like, fake a lot. And always I'm like, bro, like, please don't pretend to be something different because it's like, if you can't, like, however you're treating me right now, that's so, like, just, I'm going to expect that a year from now, 2 years from now. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, don't, like, switch up the dynamic of, like, don't try to put, like, your best foot forward if it's not something that you could, like, keep up. You know what I mean? Because, again, it's just not.
Real. Just be real.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Men,
but that is our little escapade, if you will, on why you should not be chasing a man. Remember, you are the prize, so you have to act like it. Okay? You're the prize, so act like it. That's what we're going to remember. Right? And we're going to remember that you should not have to be convincing somebody to like you. If someone doesn't see the value, they don't see the value. You do not see people, I'm telling you, you don't see the Chanel salespeople outside begging people to come inside and buy a Chanel bag.
Shit, if they don't like you, keep it pushing.
Yeah, then they're not for you. Again, like not everybody can have nice things. Again, you never see a commercial for a Porsche. You never see commercials for Bentleys. You never see commercials for exotic cars. You know why? They don't have to advertise what they have because they know what they have is valuable.
People are waiting for certain models to drop.
It's like people know what they have.
They're limited. They are very limited.
They're limited edition. People know what they already know what they have is valuable, and they know that it's like the right people are going to come to them. They don't lower their nothing. They don't change nothing because they know what they have, and you should be doing the same thing. So don't change anything. Don't lower your standards just because guys are not, coming or you feel lonely. Absolutely. And if you do, you're going to regret it. So just save yourself the headache. But like I said, if you haven't left us a review, feel free to do so now. Okay, we're trying to get to our first 100 reviews on Apple Podcasts so we can do a little giveaway, schmiveaway, or whatever. So go leave us a review. If you're watching on YouTube, obviously like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you're listening, take a little screenshot, post it. You can tag me. I'll repost it. And yeah.
Yes, put your friends on. We dropping gems here. So.
I know, right? Share it to somebody. Do whatever.
I know y'all know somebody that needs to hear this shit. So.
Literally, send this to a friend that keeps chasing somebody. Yeah, send this to them, and we will see you next Wednesday.